Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the first wash of my new car since getting it. It's been about a week. Typical British weather, it's absolutely covered in dirt. So let's make a start and get this thing looking like new again.
Before I start the wash, I thought I'd show you around some of the areas of the car and how dirty they are. These are the carbon fibre inlet ducts. The inner duct channels air to cool the front brakes, with the outer duct sending air to the coolant radiators. These side duct fins must help cool the front tyres and shape air down the side of the car. They're also good at collecting dirt. I love the design of the 826M alloy wheels. These are the bi-colour variants. It's a diamond cut finish on the front, but it isn't as bright, so I'm not sure if it has a coating over the top. I've also got the brake calipers optioned in red. Didn't win Michelin's in the tyre lottery on this one. Plenty of dirt down the side of the car that has been flicked up from the front wheels. The rear of the car needs a good clean and always gets covered from turbulent air. Especially around the bottom, you can hardly see the carbon fibre weave, and the exhaust tips also need a good clean. Here are the carbon fibre side mirrors with the camera underneath for surround view. And those beautiful laser headlights with blue accents.
I usually use Bilt Hamber touchless for my snow foam pre-wash. At the moment, it's a Cool Tech snow foam lance that's from Amazon. And then for the contact wash, I use Autoglym Bodywork shampoo conditioner in a 2-bucket wash method. So my Autoglym has the shampoo and conditioner in, and the Maguire's bucket is just warm water to rinse.
The issue with the Cool Tech snow foam lance is that it is flowing too quickly. There is an adjustable flow controller on the lance, however this is in its fully off position. It is possible to change the orifice nozzle within the lance. The supplied orifice is 1.25mm in diameter. I did try a 1.1mm nozzle which produces thicker foam, but then the pressure washer kept turning on and off because there wasn't enough water flowing through the Karcher to keep the pump running. Even with the bottle pickup valve set to its minimum, it still uses the full 1 litre capacity by the time I've managed to coat the whole car. Bilt Hamber suggests a lower concentration ratio, but I have to use more product to compensate for the lance. I'm thinking of buying another snow foam lance to see if that performs better. Let me know in the comments which one you use and whether it produces a thick foam. Now I need to let the snow foam dwell for 5 minutes to give it time to lift the dirt from the paint. Some of you watching will have noticed that I didn't pressure wash the car prior to applying the snow foam. This is because if you wet the car first, you're adding a layer of water on top of the contaminated surface, so when you apply the snow foam afterwards, the foam is making contact with the water instead of the dirty surface. I think this paint has some form of hydrophobic coating on it because the snow foam is beading off more than I usually see on untreated surfaces. I thought I'd show a close-up of the carbon fibre roof. This is a work of art and thought it needed some airtime. The quality is exceptional and the clear coat is so smooth. I've seen some aftermarket dry carbon spoilers for these cars and the quality isn't as good. You can see ripples in the clear coat where it hasn't been sanded flat to produce a higher quality finish. Those laser headlights again. You can see now most of the snow foam has run off the paint. The mud flicked up from the front wheel is still prominent. I'm expecting the pressure washer rinse will remove it. Bilt Hamber Touchless is a touch-less snow foam, meaning you have to touch it less, as opposed to it meaning that you don't have to contact wash the car after using it. They have just brought out a revised version of the touchless product. I intend to try it once I've used up my remaining supplies. I normally pressure wash from the bottom and work up. I think there's 3 minor benefits to this method. Firstly, if you pressure wash top down, you're also rinsing anything underneath where you work, making it harder to see what you've washed. This also makes it less satisfying when you come to work on that area because there isn't as much to remove. Lastly, it means the snow foam gets a few more seconds to work before it is removed. Hopefully in this close-up you can see most of the dirt being removed by the pressure washer. The front rotors are 380mm with 6 piston calipers. That certainly doesn't leave much clearance between the caliper and the alloy wheel. Now the car has been pressure washed, you can see there's still some dirt left on the paint, but most of it has been removed. In this close-up you can see there is still some dirt remaining on the car, so although the Bilt Hamber touchless has done a good job removing most of it, you still need to contact wash afterwards. The carbon fibre ducts are starting to look better now most of the dirt has been removed. Before starting the contact wash, I'm first agitating the wash mitt in the bucket to remove any grit that might potentially be in the mitt from the last time I used it, even though I always rinse it after I've finished. You can never be too sure. When contact washing, always start at the top and work down because generally speaking, the car usually gets dirtier the closer you get to the road. This helps reduce the chance of scratching during a contact wash. After working on a small section, rinse the wash mitt in the rinse bucket, squeeze out any excess water, then dip it into the shampoo bucket and continue cleaning. This Autoglym wash mitt is good quality, however when full of water it is heavy. You get a workout from using it, that is for sure. I normally clean around the fuel filler cap in case there was any fuel drips from removing the nozzle after filling up. Rather than working a panel at a time, I try to wash along the crease line down the side of the car, cleaning the upper half first, then the lower half, then finally the side skirt. If you have a double-sided wash mitt, flip it halfway through between rinsing. When washing areas that are heavily contaminated, remember to rinse more frequently, again to reduce the chance of scratching. It goes without saying, the wash mitt should never come in contact with the floor. If it does, make sure you rinse it thoroughly before using it again to wash the car. Sometimes you get bug splats and droplets of tar on the front. When you do, try not to scrub the paint. If it isn't coming off after a few passes with the wash mitt, it might be safer to use a specialist tar removal product that can break it down without overworking the area. Remember to wash the door jamb, sill and under the door around the exterior rubber seals. Once finished, I rinse with the garden hose to remove suds. When reaching over the car, I use my other hand to ensure the hose pipe doesn't come in contact with the paintwork and scratch it. While the car is still drip drying, I then start to clean the alloys. Depending on the alloy wheel design, you might not be able to get all of them washed before the body panels need drying with the chamois leather. Leave it too long to dry in the hot weather and you'll end up with watermarks on the paintwork which take a bit more effort to remove. These BMW 826M alloy wheels are a real pain to clean. In a future video I'm going to test using wheel woolies to see if they do a better job than the traditional sponge I'm currently using. Once I've gone around the outside of the alloy wheel, I then like to wipe down the caliper, then use the sponge on the inside of the rim to remove dirt buildup from there too. With the size of these discs and calipers, there's very little room to get around the inside. When I rinse the alloy wheel, I run my finger into the corners of the spokes to make sure all of the dirt has been removed from the harder to reach areas.
You can see the difference of using a 2-bucket method. This, although it's not perfect, but it's a lot better than that.
Before using a chamois leather, make sure you rinse it out to make sure there is no trapped dirt from the last time it was used. I store mine in a plastic bag between washes so it doesn't dry out. I think if they do dry out, they become more brittle and prone to disintegrating. When drying the car, it goes without saying that you start at the top and work down. I'm applying as little pressure as possible to minimise the chance of scratching in case dirt gets under the chamois leather. When cleaning around the arches, Make sure the chamois leather doesn't go under the arches where it's dirty. You don't want that being rubbed into your paintwork. Remember to chamois the door jambs to remove as much standing water as possible. And voila, one nice and shiny BMW G82 M4 in Brooklyn Grey. The standard rear spoiler in carbon fibre looks okay, but I think I might swap it for one of the slightly larger aftermarket variants. What do you think I should do, and have you got any recommendations?
I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please don't forget to like and subscribe, and then you'll be notified when the next video is released. Until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.